Hello. I'm running out of ideas. I don't know what to cover. I want to cover a franchise in one video. And I just don't know what. You guys are getting separate videos. I just don't know what else to cover. No, absolutely not. Wouldn't mind, but no. The six first films? No. Children of the Ass? Absolutely not. Wait, I thought I already picked you. No, I just don't know what to cover. Huh? What's this? Stan Winston's first ever movie and his only directing movie is Pumpkinhead, the first 1988 Pumpkinhead that came out in 1988. This sexy head just makes me think about drinks. So I'll be back. I said I will be back.
Huh, we got nothing. Alright. Well, nah. Well, nah. No.
The first Pumpkinhead movie means a lot to me when it comes to filmmaking, and Stan Winston also. If you guys do not know who Stan Winston is for some odd fucking reason, this is him. And this is all of his work. Ringing a bell? I hope so. The first Pumpkinhead movie, like I said, means a lot to me. Stan Winston just knows his magic, and he was like, we don't want any green screen. We don't want fake. We don't want fucking fake. We want practical. And that's what filmmaking, in my opinion, is. It's just the wonderful art and just the hard work between everybody on set, the actors, the lighting crew, every person on set, believe it or not. Even if it's a movie that you do not like, movies take a long time and a lot of process to do. But like I said, the first Pumpkinhead movie came out in 1988. This is Stan Winston's first and only film that he's directed. The movie runs at an hour and 26 minutes long. Thank God. I'm just playing. I think the reason why I like this movie, it's one of my comfort movies, is because, like I said, the behind the scenes of this movie. If it wasn't for Stan Winston and the behind the scenes and the learning of this movie, I don't think I would have been a big fan of the story. When I first watched it, I loved it. It has one of my favorite scenes when it comes to shots, scenes. I think that's just nostalgia, could be. But anyways, the movie's R rated, has a 6.2 in IMDb. Reasonable. The story is just basic. So, like I said, we're going to be covering all four films. So each movie I'm going to cover is going to be shorter than usual. How I usually do, this video will be 40 hours long. This movie's original thing that what this movie came from wasn't a book. It was a poem that was from the guy named Ed Justin. And he also is one of the writers for the film alongside Stan Winston and Mark Patrick.
At the time, and are you surprised by its reception now?
That's a great question. You know, when we made it, you're just making the movie. Tom and I were reminiscing this morning, and it's so funny because we have a lot of the same stories. Whenever I see him or Lance, it's just like no time has passed. So it was a wonderful movie to make. It was my first feature film, so I was a nervous wreck. But Stan was such a great director and so generous, and he let us improvise and add things to scenes and really find our characters. So we really were immersed in the world. You know, it was a completely immersive world. Also, that's before digital CGI. So we just loved it. I mean, we had such a great time. And then we all went on and did our things and did other projects and whatever. And then about 2 years ago, a promoter called me and said, you need to start doing these shows. I'm like, why? And he actually said, Pumpkinhead and Society.
A Pumpkinhead remake is in development at Paramount Players. The script is written by Nate Atkins. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. The project aims to honor the 1988 original Stan Winston film while updating the story for modern audience. This news was in 2021, but they're still looking for a director to direct the movie. Since Stan Whitson was directing the movie, said Gillis, he turned the creature work over to us. Stan said, "I'm the director on this. I'm the client. You guys are the effects guys." It was great to have Stan's encouragement to just go with it on our own. We sat down and started drawing. Then we showed the drawings to Stan, and he made suggestions. That's how the character Pumpkinhead developed. Then I sculpted the head, and Tom and John sculpted the body. Pumpkinhead's performer, Tom Woodruff, was the person in the Pumpkinhead suit. To avoid wear and tear on the suit, Woodruff was glued into it at the start of shoot day and remained in the foam rubber construct for up to 8 hours at a time. The movie's budget was $3.5 million, and it grossed worldwide $4 million plus. Working on a tight budget, Stan Whitson's studio provided additional Pumpkinhead suits for stunt sequence, as well as dead bodies and makeup. Stan knew what to do with the budget. He knew what to spend the money on and how to get the most out of everything they built. Stan Whitson allowed everybody to improvise their own lines at most scenes.
I said, that's what I'd like to do with my son. We're working in the vegetables on the porch, and then I take him out and I wash his hands and tell him about his grandmother. And Stan loved it. He just said, yeah, we're going to do it.
The movie stars Lance Hickerson, Jeff East, John Daquin, Kimberly Rose, Joe Huffman, Kathleen Bain, Kerry Risman, Florence Brian Bremer, George Buck Flower, Matthew Harley, Lee Brooks, Peggy Walton Walker, Chance, Michael, Dick Warlick, Devin. I'm gonna speed run this bitch. I'm just playing. The movie opens up to around midnight. A family gets interrupted very rudely by a guy banging on their door, and they can't let him in.
Open up, Tom and me, Clayton Allen!
What's the password?
Please open the door!
No, nowhere near close. The next, we follow Lance's character, Ed Harley, and his son. We're gonna call him Son, and the dog. Get it together, fuckers. They work at this gas station, it seems like. The city folks has girlfriend, boyfriend. They're trying to ride dirt bikes. Well, mostly the brothers are trying to ride dirt bikes, because there's only 2 dirt bikes. I guess one of them is a photographer, so you get some nice captures in the middle of fucking nowhere. Because that's where they're from. They're from the city, driving all the fuck away to the middle of fuckwhere. While they're driving, they stop by a homeless guy.
I want to take a picture of this.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
No. Carrots and onions. It was like foot stew. I think this was the guy, too. This was the guy.
Who's hitchhiking. By the way, I don't think that guy was homeless. I think that person the guy was Jeff Bezos. I think they look very similar. We're going to call them broke folks. And then we got the broke folks and the city folks arrive at the same time at this gas station, right? The broke folks is gathering whatever they fucking need. And the city folks is doing whatever they fucking. The city folk girl asked to take a picture.
Hey, can I take your picture?
No. So anyways, the kid took my candy. I started crying, and the mom starts laughing, and she looks at me and she says, "Sir, you are an adult and you're crying for some candy." Looked in the mother. I said, "Fuck you." Dude, you really said that? Believe it or not. Yes. Then I ran away. Like the man I am. Wow. You're a legend, man. Do you have any more to spill? I don't know. It's gonna cost you some money. Dude, come on. I said no. You almost got me that time. Next time, me and my buddies gonna have to fuck you up. The original poem line thingy was added into this movie. As a person that did a lot of research, I thought this scene was pretty cool, because this is where the movie originally came from, was this poem right here. And the kids and them taunting this little boy with the poem was such a classic add-on.
Away from Pumpkinhead unless you're tired of living. His enemies are mostly dead. He's mean and unforgiving. Stop it! Doors and windows barred. Guard dogs prowling.
The city folks are about to take out their dirt bikes and go riding. And then Ed Stupid Harley wants to leave his son and his dog for some fucking reason. That kid is so small, fit him in the back of the trunk. Fuck. But Ed Harley is dumbass for plot reason, has to leave. And then that boy, he runs out after the dog. And I guess nobody besides one of the girlfriends sees the boy and says, "Little boy, stop it." No. While everybody else is like, "Oh, my room." Nobody is watching that boy besides that one person. And that's why the reason he got hit. When he gets hit, everybody's complaining besides the older brother. The older brother is a douche. Fuck him. He has to dip fast because he was in an accident early on that we didn't see involving another kid, and he's on probation, so he doesn't want to go to jail. Everybody leaves besides the younger brother, and the younger brother is the most reasonable and most responsible person at that group, in my opinion, besides his girlfriend also. I see why they're together. Ed Harley pops up, and he gives him the most... Oh my gosh, just look at this. Ugh. Where did music come from? Back at while they're riding, everybody is at the cabin to call the cops. But the first person that was there was the older brother and his girlfriend, and he cut the phone line. And then he locks the other people in the closet. He's mature. The brother pops up. I know, the brother's just so cool. The brother, like I said, is the most responsible and the reasonable. I think they have different fathers. Away and fuck, they're really related. And yet, the most likable character is the first one to die. Pumpkinhead kills him while his girlfriend runs out. I don't know how the girlfriend doesn't see, hear, or just have that feeling there's some demon. And yeah, Pumpkinhead just extends his fucking arm and just kills him. And then she runs back to the cabin, and everybody gets like, are we not gonna... you know what? Fuck it. What the fuck? Shotgun, a gun, a knife, a dildo, everything that you could think of. And they go hunting. My favorite scene is where Pumpkinhead grabs one of the girlfriends and has a sketch art on her face. And then he throws a big fit and then smashes her head through the window. I love that scene. He's an artist. Some might say he's artistic. Now, before I go with this thing, Ed Harley goes to a witch house. He has to follow these steps. Go dig out a corpse from the pumpkin patch, or pumpkin fucking funeral, or pumpkin graveyard. And each Pumpkinhead is a previous client, as I will say. So when Ed Harley dies, he'll become the next Pumpkinhead. Following on, he has to use his blood to born this. And by the way, Pumpkinhead and him are connected. They're together as Pumpkinhead feels pain. Pumpkinhead feels pains. Ed Harley's stupid ass feels drunk. The city folks, they're hunting for this thing, right? And Pumpkinhead, while they're running, Pumpkinhead just extends his arm once again and he climbs up a tree. Oh, look! Pumpkinhead! Oh, shit. Pumpkinhead, that wasn't really nice of you. So they run, right, until they go to a burnt up church. Pumpkinhead arrives at the same time as him. And Pumpkinhead, I like the scene, but you didn't have to do this, but you're gonna do whatever the fuck you want. I ain't gonna stop you. City folks run into other folks with guns and knives and dildos, like I said from the previous earlier. Right. Pumpkinhead arrives with Ed Harley. Pumpkinhead pulls out his guns from his ass, and they have a classic standoff. Ed Harley goes back to the bitch house, whatever her name is. And I didn't say this, but the cabin or the swamp cabin from the witch house is cool. I like the decoration. I think she's very... I think I know what she likes. She likes that crushed vibe. Besides that, I like the set on the house. It looks pretty nice. It looks creepy. Gives that eerie, witchy, bitchy vibe. Love it. But he goes back and he says, stop it. Right? He did ask for it. But he might not know. Whatever you ask for or wish for comes true. I guess. But she says, Ed Harley, get the fuck out of me, bitch. I didn't mention this earlier because I was speedrunning this shit, right? But the birth of Pumpkinhead transformation scene is top notch. Love it. But the only bad thing is the fucking flashes. Holy shit. And then they added on with this scene right here. Ed Harley, you get the fuck out my crib, bitch. And then she has a shotgun to his head. While Pumpkinhead's killing the kids or hunting the kids or torturing the kids, whatever the fuck you want to say, he's kind of regretting. So like I said, he goes back to the witch house and he wants to stop it. And she says, there's no stopping it. You did what you did. You're going to have to pay the consequence now, boy. So he says, fine, I'll do it myself. And she said, you will fail and you will die. Whatever you put your heart to, you can do it. But he doesn't succeed later because he does sacrifice himself. And the movie ends with him sacrificing himself. Hey, man, I'm sorry for earlier. What did you need?
I wasn't gonna touch you later.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Is that cool?
When?
Right now, actually.
Bet.
But there was something I wanted to let you know.
What's up?
You ever heard of G Fuel?
No, what's that?
Something to get you boosted up in the day.
Ooh, okay.
Fuck you, man.
I'm sorry, I
I
didn't mean
didn't finish. Yeah, but anyways, that's
Is
something
there a
cool.
code I can get
Once
for,
again,
like,
you cut me
50%
off. Yes. Fopa TA1 for 20% off.
Bet.
I know, but yeah,
Bet,
stop cutting me
man.
off. Once again, you cut me off again.
Thank you for letting me know.
Fuck you. Stop cutting me off like that, man. You're not him.
Bye.
Fuck you. I'm gonna cut your fucking throat. I'm gonna rip your
Dude,
throat.
stop it,
I'm going to touch you later.
man. Bro, you're the sweetest human
No.
being or
Keep
fake
one eye
person
open. Bitch.
ever.
I mean it. I'm gonna rip your eyes out, your tongue out,
All right.
and everything you know will burn.
Being a little, those words are a little
Burn.
nice.
Burn.
I don't think YouTube's allowed that on their
Burn.
platform.
Bitch. Burn. Burn.
They couldn't leave Dead Enough alone. Genius. That made so much fucking sense. Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings came out in 1993. It is an R-rated film, an hour and 28 minutes. Fuck. If you guys haven't seen the first video, go ahead and check out the first video. Like I said, every single information for the first film is already out there. I will be talking about the behind the scenes for this film, but mostly we're going to skip to the story. Pumpkinhead in this movie is just a little more violent compared to the first film. This film also has a lot of flashes in this fucking movie that we get from flashbacks here and there, or rather that be from Pumpkinhead arriving scene where there was just a lot of lightning flashes for no fucking reason. We get it, he's there, okay? Fuck off. Or that would be from his red vision that was ugly in this film. And you get a lot of more Pumpkinhead in this film. I don't like he's not, when I first watched this movie, I turned it off from the barn scene because I was like, this is ugly. He's not that bad when you watch it on a second rewatch, but it's nowhere near Stan Winston's Pumpkinhead movie and his Pumpkinhead. But this Pumpkinhead is not that bad as I remembered. And this movie I did watch like a good 10 years ago. So the movie is written by 3 guys, Andrew Osborne, and these 2 guys I will not pronounce because I cannot pronounce people's names. Gosh. The movie has a wonderful 4.7 on IMDb. Critics gave it a 22 on Rotten Tomato, and audience gave it a 20. So critics were a little bit nicer on this film. Usually that stops. The movie stars Andrew Robinson, Moonfry. Love that name. I didn't say the first name because I like Moonfry more. Or I can't pronounce the first fucking name. Solely, I don't fucking know. I'm sorry. Amy Dolezan. I don't know how to pronounce names. Jay Trevor, Hillhopper, Alexander Polsky, and many more. Many. This movie has a lot of comments from the first film. Stupid teenagers or college students, and people like hitting people with vehicles. Yeah, the first film, they, kill a kid in a motorcycle accident. In this film, they hit an old witch lady, and she survives. So kind of the difference, but you guys get it. It's still the same thing. I wonder if the other 2 films are like it. They accidentally hit somebody with their vehicle. The movie opens up in this black and white ugliness, and it meets a creature. A human named Tommy and the witch girl. We're gonna call her witch. And a group of bullies, alleyway bullies, pop up to finish a job. I guess they kill him, and they lure him into this thing from the woods, and they kill him. And they make it look like they make it look like, I don't think I'm allowed to say it on YouTube. So let's say they make him look like he made himself sleep forever. Okay. At the end, we find out they make it seem like that. But yeah, I wonder if the police did this shit on purpose or whatever. The FBI or the DOA or whatever. People picked him up and found his body. Did they not find any of the scratches or knives marks that were in him before before they found the body? Unless they're just stupid as fuck, which makes sense. There's no reason why they will count it as a sleep forever. He made himself sleep forever, right? Because there was knives mark, and first of all, congrats, you found a body. And this movie, I guess there's like a person that talks to people that were like, there was like a kill count or some shit, or a kill feed on the bottom of their eyes that says, or in their ear that was like, by the way, there was a kill at this location. Because when there is a kill, the police and everybody else are at the scene the next morning or like an hour or two after the body, or I mean the pumpkin had killed something or something. The movie opens up once again to bad people. Her dad says, "You're hanging out with bad people."
Those kids are trouble, Jen.
Dad, I promise you, they're not bad people, but they're not good people. They're bad. They're horrible. Yeah. Speaking of the people, we don't give a fuck about any of these characters. Why? Because they're useless. So we're gonna call him Jackass, and then we're gonna call this guy who has, like I said, nothing to do with the film or character development. We're just gonna call him Waldo. Okay? Because later on in the film, he's Waldo. Okay? Moving on. No explanation right there. They're hanging out at the spot where the people made the guy sleep forever. So that's a little hideout. The blondie's dad finds them, and she has to go home. Normal. She sneaks out the next day. They're on a road trip. The guy, I don't know how the fuck he has his driver license. Look at this fucking driving. Motherfucker's driving on the wrong side of the road, in the middle of the road, everywhere at night. And they're fooling around on the road. And then they almost did a hit and run. And later on, he says, I wouldn't hurt people. But later, they break into the girl's house after the blondie says,
Look, a hit and run is serious shit.
I can't deal with a hit and run, but yet you can break into some girl's house? Got it. You are very smart. And the boyfriend of hers says, I don't hurt people. And then this scene happens. They break in, first of all, they hit a girl. Boom. They were about to do a hit and run. Crime. Then they break into a house. I get it, there's no locks, but still, it's like the same thing as the DoorDash lady. Mind your business. It's not your property. Get the fuck out. And then, in her own house, she gets her, butt kicked. Before they break into the nice old lady's house, they come across this patch that I'm not going to get into due to reasons. And later on, following out after they beat the fuck, or after he beats the living shit out of the girl, they take this blood sample, and it's something of a curse that brings up Pumpkinhead. And this fucking voice pisses me off. Listen.
Leave it here. It's very dangerous, boy. Don't walk with it.
I thought that was a witch. Are there guy witches? Let me know in the comments. But the makeup later on when she's in the hospital, pretty good. The practical effects, once again, are pretty good, especially when they end up killing Pumpkinhead. I like the practical effects. Some of the blood is just either too bright, it looks like bright pink red paint, or it would just look like actual blood. It's just always the mix. It's never like, okay, it will look like real for a sec. It makes no fucking sense. I know. Stay with me. So they think they're digging up Pumpkinhead because they heard of the curse. They know who the witch was, but yet you guys still fucked with the witch? Got it. So they bring back Pumpkinhead without them knowing. So, and then the girl's house starts to burn, and they leave her to burn there. And yet you will never hurt somebody. That was a fucking lie once again. And if the old lady, or the old bitch, witch, can crawl herself over there, or over here, just crawl through the fire. I'm sorry. Burn yourself a little bit, man. You don't even got that long to live. I'm sorry. The sheriff officer, the dad, we later on figure out, later on, when I mean later, I mean at the end of the movie, this is one of the nice guys that actually kind of saved him from, falling through the well is early on. And yeah, that's it. There's no reason for that scene to ever happen. But anyways, oh, my bad. It's to figure out that the Pops is a good guy. The boys that get him are called the Blood Wings or the Wings or some bullshit. And that's where the fucking title comes from. But instead, we only get to hear them in Red Wings. So why the fuck is the movie not called Red Wings instead of it's called Blood Wings? I get it. Red is kind of like blood is red. Fuck off. Like I said, Pumpkinhead has a lot more to do. Pumpkinhead's a little bit more violent. My bad. He's more violent in this film. And you get a lot of more kills with him. And he's going for everybody. If you're in his way, you're fucked. So he kills, a butcher. The police instantly get to his body the next morning. I don't know how they found it out. Then it's another scene. And then there's another scene with Pumpkinhead killing two people fucking, kind of. Pumpkinhead I hate his vision in this fucking film. It's bad. It's this red, like, flashing. It's just so stupid. Fuck. We don't get a lot of the college teenagers, whatever bullshit, like as you think you would. But the main character, like I said, is Andrew, the sheriff officer. Okay, and cool. The old lady isn't dead. She's at this hospital with looking like the Invisible Man a little bit from the classic Invisible Man. Yes, from that one. One of the teenager girls has a nightmare in her dream. It might be a dream for her, but for me, it was a nightmare because this scene was so stupid. Hey. Sorry, I didn't know it was. Sorry, I know I'm in your bedroom, but come on. Like, I know you don't know who I am. I'm a stranger, but you don't gotta react like that. Like I said, Pumpkinhead, they end up talking to the old lady witch. And they're like, because the DNA blood from the scenes don't match up to any humans, and people believe it's Pumpkinhead, and the tourists, the everybody, civilians they think it might be Bigfoot, the Loch Ness, whatever fucking monster. Yeah, a water creature on land. Got it. They talk to the witch again because it's a witch. Something stupid. There's no way to beat it. It's just us shooting it to death. Wasn't other people doing that the whole time? I guess not. From the first film. The boyfriend turns into a mad man. And he pulls out a gun on Waldo and tells Waldo to get the fuck out of there and go get the car so we can get up and get the fuck out of here. Where's Waldo? What the fuck? Oh, there he is. I guess Pumpkinhead really likes to throw people through windows. I think he does. So the other 4 people are running. And this stupid bitch keeps on tripping. And the boyfriend of the other couple, that's the other rude, the one that I never brought up, they keep on running. One bitch keeps on tripping. The boyfriend's like, come on. To be honest, if I was running, I am not worrying about my spouse. I'm not giving a fuck about them. This creature is hunting me to kill me. I'm using them as bait. They're holding their hand. In my opinion, if they're slower than me, and you're holding their hand, just try to keep that's slowing you down. Push her. She's bait. Or if the girl's faster, push him. He's bait. This scene, once again, Pumpkinhead is more violent around this time. And he stabs this girl through the back with the spear thing, this log. Pumpkinhead breaks somebody's back earlier. Fuck. Violent much. Whew. He's violent, y'all. Like I said, he throws people through windows. He kills people during sex. I mean, at least he lets them finish and said Pumpkinhead's not a cockblocker, but I don't know what's wrong with Pumpkinhead around this time. But Pumpkinhead kills the boyfriend, and he uses the same log stick to kill through the boyfriend, too. The boyfriend is so stupid. He tries to save his girl. I get it, that's your lady, man. Don't try to save her. She's dead. Fuck off. Leave. The other 2 couple and the cop lures the Pumpkinhead to his original spot. And Tommy, they think it's Tommy, or it is Tommy. I don't fucking know, because the story's so fucking confusing. But the sheriff, it's like, no, don't shoot the guy. And they leave him. They shoot him. And this is where the nice practical effects come from with the guts and gore, shooting the fucker to death. Like, the local country fellas come down with their guns. They come down to the well where they killed Tommy in the beginning of the movie. And then they killed Tommy, Pumpkinhead, Tommy Head, Virgin Heaven, whatever, fuck head. And then they do the same thing. So imagine from the beginning what I said to the end, and that's where the fuck.
Look at this loser. Look at this.
What?
Look at this loser. Look at this loser.
No, fuck off.
No. What video are you getting done right now? Loser. Hey, wake up.
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm meditating.
Ooh, for what?
Because I'm about to watch Pumpkinhead 3.
Ooh, wish you good luck.
If you stop
But-
cutting me off, I can get this video done.
When would it be released? No, actually, fuck off. What the fuck? Bro, what are you on?
Again, you're cutting me off. What the fuck? No one's there. Anyways, Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes came out in 2006. It runs at a 1 hour and 31 minute runtime. Fuck has a 4.3 on IMDb and a 24% on Rotten Tomato. This film is not bad compared to the sequel. The only thing I do not like about this film, it's still nowhere near the first film, Stan Winston's first film. But this movie wants to add CGI, and it just looks stupid, And it keeps the same, the same tropes from, the other 2 films. Pumpkinhead likes to bitch slap people. In the last two Pumpkinhead films, there's usually a car accident or a vehicle accident, involving a death or a car accident. The first film had this. The second film had this one. And this one kind of switches it up a little bit. Instead of killing somebody, they just crash, okay? Pumpkinhead, once again, they missed out on the second film, but Pumpkinhead, once again, uses a person's head as sketch art. He's like, I needed to draw. And that's what he did in this film. He draws on somebody's head, and then he throws it away. And then Pumpkinhead, once again, throws somebody through the window. Can't forget these scenes again. Yeah. Pumpkinhead really loves throwing people through windows. Still can't forgive what they did to Waldo, though. What the fuck? They went back to the first movie's tone a little bit, a darker tone. The second one kind of had this, like, Disney Channel type of vibe, just with the R rating to it. This film brings back Ed Harley, played by Lance Hickerson. They bring back Bunt, but he's played by a different actor. And this, he's played by Douglas Roberts. Brian Premer plays the original Bunt. So they bring back, he's like a main character in this movie. Ed Harley, like I said, does return in this movie. It's like a cameo, but he's playing in Bunt's mind. The awful witch from the last movie, Haggis, but we call her the witch, I didn't like her at all in the sequel. That movie with her was just horrible. She had this very stupid voice. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking about old people like that, but just fuck. No, it's not the actor. I'm talking about it's the voice for me. This movie is directed by Jake West, and writers are Barbara Winner, Jack West, and John Renner. It takes a good minute for Pumpkinhead to get his first screen appearance. You do get a scene of him in the beginning of the movie, and then it takes another 30 minutes to get just where the story starts with Pumpkinhead. It's fucking retarded. One thing I do not like about the Pumpkinhead movies is the covers, the posters. I'm just not a big fan. The first one is lookable, I guess, but the other three, I just want to cut my eyes off. The movie opens up with a Pumpkinhead chase, and then a guy tripping in water, and then he dies. Then the movie follows up in the following present day of this movie. That chasing sequence was a dream. Wow. And that's our boy Bunt. And then you got the doctor, who's considered the villain of the movie. Pumpkinhead, no. Pumpkinhead is just doing what he was told to do. Summoned. A hiker and his dog are just hiking through the woods, and they come across Doc and his gang cutting up into somebody's liver. And then he gets spot, and then they had to go chase him to kill him. He hides in the barn, and he has his eyes open, hiding under these bodies and hay, and his dog snitches him out. Where the fuck to go, dog? They stab him, they bring him back to the dog, and, they take out his liver and then they dump his body out just to rot, and then he wakes up, and then he runs. By the way, they didn't stitch it back up. They'd leave him to die after they, dig in his organs and, take out whatever they'd need. And then they basically drown him in dirty mud water. So while his stomach is still, cut open. And while he gets up, great acting, by the way. I'm sorry, I don't like to criticize acting, but man, I was so convinced his acting. His stomach was wide open, like he didn't get like, a organ, cut out of him or, nothing like that. He runs in the middle of the road, and a girl named Molly sue him, almost runs his ass over, but she stops. Sir, can you get off my car like that, please?
Of course.
I don't want you on my car like that, please. Just go. She takes him to the police station. The police says, is this another one of your situations? They think this bitch is crazy, which she is towards the end, because she's kind of like possessed or some shit. They found the body in the car. They arrived the next morning at the barn that the doc guys and his gang is at. And they find the dead bodies. They found Molly's dead child. That's clearly not a Halloween decoration. The other dead bodies look pretty cool. That sounds weird to say. Hey, Molly. What the fuck was that for? A lot of the town members are there, I guess, for some reason. I'm surprised the police is not doing, like back the fuck up. I'm surprised they're not doing any of that, but anyways, they're not. Haggis, the old witch, shows up. She is played by Lynn Verl. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name right. And she's back to her creepy, she has this raspy voice instead of this dark, deep voice from the second film. They dig up before any of this, they're doing body searching. So like, I guess that why the locals are there. They're looking for bodies, and they dig up Ed Harley's, or from the first film, they dig up from the pumpkin patch thing, and then the witch Haggis comes and says, "Bitch, that belongs to me." She takes it because it's her property, kind of, that they found it in the middle of the woods. That unless she owns part of that property, I don't give a. By the way, the doc and his people are drug addicts sometimes. One girl is a crystal person. She loves crystal, the drug. And her brother is Bunt. I thought I just should, throw that out there. Fuck these kids. Bunt, his sister, and somebody else gets arrested. So they're thrown into a jail cell together to rot in jail. During one of the scenes in the jail scene with Bunt is, once again, he's played by a completely different actor. He's played by Douglas Roberts. In the first film, the original thing that Pumpkinhead came from, it was a poem, and the poem was thrown in as a little Easter egg from the first film, while Bunt and the other Wallace people were taunting this one kid with the Pumpkinhead poem or saying, and then once again it's thrown in here once again.
Mostly dead. He's mean and unforgiving.
Molly and her group of friends go to the witch's cabin unannounced. Leave this poor witch alone, man. Gosh. Y'all are just disrespectful.
What you want has a name, girl.
Dick? Ed Harley had a right. Not really. The second group of kids from the second film just beat her up in her own home. They broke into her home. They ran her over in her area. Why was she walking in the middle of the road? I don't know. Once again, that popped up unannounced. Give her a call. Throw a crow at her. Just give her a heads up. She's old, man. She can have a heart attack. They use her. 4 of these people are connected as one to the Pumpkinhead. And then Pumpkinhead gets born from the Ed Harley corpse. They added some seed. Pretty ugly. Pumpkinhead kills the random guy at the jail cell. He's walking, man. And he kills a random guy from the jail cell. He breaks into a jail cell, kills somebody in the jail cell, okay? The other 2, Bunt and his sister, runs away. So they're free again. They're free people. Where the doc and his gang are staying, somebody climbs a tree version of a ladder. Pumpkinhead arrives, and he throws him once again through the window. Can't forget Pumpkinhead through. I'm hoping in the 4th film he does it again. If not, I'll be very pissed. And Pumpkinhead brutally goes on the roof, CGI-ly, and he lifts him up and stabs him. Very nice. While the doc and the Bunt and his sister leave, they crash their car. The sister is unconscious, okay? She's asleep. They bring her down to a church. Doc leads them down in the basement of a church, and then he visits another group of church people. And Pumpkinhead arrives with another beautiful CGI scene, and he kills the father. He does it, so, burns him. Now, he doesn't do it on purpose. He accidentally falls into fire, and then he gets burned. Once again, some people go to the witch again, once again, stop bothering her, please. Leave her alone. The doc arrives at Molly's crib, and he stalks on her. Sir, what the fuck you doing over here? I seen you, stupid. The doc kills one of the guys that were part of the treatment of Pumpkinhead, the birth of Pumpkinhead, I will say. Kills him, and he has an idea to kill Pumpkinhead, but he has to kill each of the hosts, I guess, of the Pumpkinhead. So that involves Molly and her gang, but he already killed somebody, so there's 3 left. So he's on his way to, kill them. But Molly and her group protect her, kinda. She leaves. She goes to a motel of a drug dealer that I didn't mention because I think he's useless. But the sister of Bunt, likes drugs. And the doc, basically, and he tries to kill her. And then Pumpkinhead is nearby, and he breaks into the cook dealer's house, motel, and he kills the cook, the chef. Then Molly dies. That means there's only one guy left. And their idea for them to stop in Pumpkinhead was stupid also. So it doesn't work. So what's he do? He pulls the Ed Harley and he sacrifices himself. And that's where the movie ends. Goodbye. I mean it. Goodbye. One more film left.
Hey.
What is it?
Have you ever heard of G Fuel? Huh?
Yes, you can use code 4PTA1 for 20% off.
What?
Now leave me alone.
But is there any percentage off? What code? What
Yes.
code, huh?
20% off. I just said
Really?
that.
Oh,
Now,
that's
can I
cool.
finish this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Meh. Meh.
Get a load of this fucking dork.
I always wonder what goes in, their minds. Are they talking? I do so much for them. I bet they're talking so much nice things about me.
I fucking hate this guy.
I know, right?
Yeah, man, I just wanna. Sometimes when he's sleeping at night, I just wanna shove this chainsaw far up his fucking ass and turn it on. He does really weird things to us at night, like touches us. Yeah, this movie reminds me of that again. I'm gonna shove this fucking chainsaw up his ass and make him feel it.
Yeah, me, there's no such thing. And they can lie all they want. I know the truth. And they lying. They lying on my name. And and I don't like that. I don't like that. Me, my mommy, and my daddy, and my sissy, my auntie don't like that at all because it's making us seem bad. And I'm not a bad person. I'm really I'm very confused why I'm even here and there and and more and more. And I don't. I'm autistic and I'm stupid and I'm retarded and there's everything wrong with me in the book. You can read everything in the table to the book, and I'm ta-da, I'm choo choo, and a lot more. And my mommy said I'm really special. And, she's like I'm special than special, and I was like no me down. I hate the accusers, but when I know it's the truth, and I never did such a thing.
Fucking liar. I know he's lying. We're gonna get justice for them. That guy needs to be locked up. Fuck him. Pumpkinhead 4 Blood Feud came out in 2007, R-rated once again, obviously, and it runs at an hour and 35 fucking minutes. Now with this film, I can give it a little funds. It is probably the goriest film out of them all, and this is the last installment. It has a 4.4 on IMDb. With this movie, it's nothing different from any of the other three films. Once again, Lance Henriksen comes back as Ed Harley. Same thing from the third film. He wasn't in the second film, but he was also obviously in the first film. This movie takes a minute to get to the Pumpkinhead plot. The first movie was long. The second one was pretty fast with it, and the third was 30 minutes. And then this movie, like 35 to 40 minutes. So it takes a minute. This one, in my opinion, versus the first one, we're only comparing it to the other three, has the best characters, in my opinion, and development, if you can say anything like that. Now, we know from the other two videos of mine, from the last two Pumpkinhead videos, from 2 and 3, we know Pumpkinhead movies has a thing they always throw in, which is window smashing, bitch slapping, and car hitting. And I was going to be very, very upset, because when I was watching it, up until like the halfway point towards the end, the third act, I was like, we're not gonna get any of that. And then they just like, we know what you want. You're only here to watch the bitch smacking, the window smashing, and then the car hits. And we got them again. I was happy. Because we didn't get one, not two, three bitch slaps in this movie. And now they teased us with this window smashing. I was like, oh, we're going to get it here. No, we didn't get it. And then they were like, yeah, we're going to get you now. And then they do it, and then they actually do it. And then the one of him getting hit by the car came out of the middle of nowhere. So good, a little right there, just because this movie was running very slow. And this movie has a very horrible green screen CGI. Pumpkinhead, once again, looks more like the third and second film, more like the third film. He's not bad, once again. He's just nowhere near the first film. 1988 Stan Winston film. Nothing will come close to that. Hopefully, if we ever get a director to direct the new film that's been written already, hopefully, but they're still looking for a director. Hopefully, we get some news. We haven't got that since 2021. So, still in the decade, 5 years ago, which is not too long. Like I said, this story isn't anywhere special. In my opinion, when it comes down to any of them, it probably would go from first film, this film, the second film, then the third film. This film is probably the most darkest one, the most gruesome. There's some cool kills, a lot of practical gore. There's a scene with a bear trap. There's a lot of like guts getting ripped out. There's just a lot of, but this movie takes place in the woods a lot. There's not a lot of distant locations for this film. I wasn't complaining about, but it was just hurting my eyes. Some of the cinematography was bad. Some of the lighting was bad. They did fix up the thing that I complained about the second and the third film was the flashing lights, which was horrible. When it comes to the storms and the lightning, it's just horrible. Same thing in this film, but it's just a little bit better. But you can clearly see it's just not lightning. Yeah. Pumpkinhead's vision is better. From the second film, it was just this blobbing, just bolt bumping. It was just so ugly. I hated it. But yeah. The movie opens up two guys on a dirt bike motorcycle with a fuck, and they're getting chased by no one but okay. And once again, I think each Pumpkinhead movie has this like back in the past, and then we get met with the present. I think every single film has it actually. As I'm speaking, I think every film has it actually. The first one has it, the second one has it, the third one has it, and this one has it. So, once again, that's a new trope. Or a trope that I forgot. They get met off with death, basically. So, and then we're met with present day. We get met with two families that this movie pays attention to two families. One with Ricky, who is the host of Pumpkinhead, and then you get a girl of a love interest, and then you get the victim, the accuser, victim family, whatever, fuck off. They're horrible people. We are in a bar dancing scene, and then it turns out into a brawl fight. Fuck. Ricky and his girlfriend, that is the main character. Her name is Judy, played by Amy Mason. Her and Ricky are making love, and his sister or some fucking person I don't give a fuck about goes away because she's not a cock blocker. Pumpkinhead is not a cock blocker either. So, but as I'm saying, some dickheads seems like they try to rape her, but the guys are so weak they lose her, and then she busts her head, and then they die, and that's where the plot starts. But yet later on, when the two guys that try to grape the girl come over the guy Ricky and Judy's body, where there's Judy and the boyfriend Ricky can't outmatch them, but a girl beat them earlier? That makes no fucking sense. They throw somebody in the trunk. Cool. And everybody believes now that one girl's dead, and it's due to the two brothers. The two grape masters. We're going to call them the grapers. Grapers. Yeah, grappers. Grapers. I can't say the other word because there's already a kidnapper, like the grabber. This movie's nothing, like I said, special when it comes to the story. So it's just a lot of the filler scenes and just a lot of more character development and just scenes like that we already seen from the first three films. Okay, they find the girl's body in Haggis. Instead of them going to Haggis, Haggis is there, and Haggis is the old bitch. I meant witch. I always from these videos I always get those mixed up. Bitch and witch, Haggis is played by Lynn Varel. Probably butchering that name wrong, like always. Fuck me. There are in some scenes that we can call without green screen. Ed Harley pops up in like some visions. I don't know why I guess I get it because of Lance, but like in general, he's not the first Pumpkinhead. He's not the most dangerous one. He's just I don't understand why he's like the most talked about. I get it. He was probably one of the most bloodlusted. Haggis even says to the guy, "I never felt this blood rage before from a guy besides you, Ed Harley." So that means that he's more full with temper. He's full of rage, to get revenge. Dallas is a sheriff's officer that is more likely the main character of the story. He has a story of his own actually surviving a Pumpkinhead attack. His story is, him and his lucky lady ran somebody over, and the guy had to bury the girl, which was his wife, and he talked to Haggis, and yeah. And then Dallas's brother died. Moving on. That's his story. We don't give a fuck. Haggis tells us between Pumpkinhead that it's not really her or their decision. It's not Haggis' decision because Ed Harley tries to tell them you got to warn them about what they're asking for, and Haggis' bitch ass was like, "I can't do it's sheriff's decisions. It's not my decision. It's theirs, Ed Harley. Like it was yours." Fucking hate this old twag, bitch. Like I said, it's just nothing. Either Pumpkinhead kills, runs, and just meets more characters that we do not give a fuck about or we don't learn more about. So we're gonna skip right into almost the end, okay? Because we're not missing out much. Judy finds out from Haggis, fuck the bitch, I meant witch, that his love, Ricky's love, which is the host of Pumpkinhead, kinda. Fuck, I just called him host. Has so much love for you that Pumpkinhead's not gonna touch her. Because she meets Judy is at the pumpkin patch thing, and Pumpkinhead's there also, but Pumpkinhead doesn't dare to touch her. And that's when the witch tells Judy that Ricky's love is so strong for her. One of the guys finally gets hit by a car. A witch lady. That's moving on its own. Usually there's like a creepy doll in that. Yeah, it starts with the Anna or something like that. I'm not gonna say the fucking rest. But yeah, you know what? I'm out. Victim's family and then the accuser's family meet up in one house and they're talking about we got to kill Ricky. And then the other person's like, that's my blood brother. I ain't letting nobody kill him. They're like, if we don't kill him, more people are gonna die, and that's including all of us. And said there's at least a good 12 to 10 people in this fucking house. And then the sheriff's officer just is there too. I'm sorry also for this, but when they said protect this little girl, I don't mean as a rude, but I thought that was a grown, at least a teenager or in her early 20s. My apologies. I guess the actor just looked a little bit different from and then my eyes, and then their eyes was completely fucking different. Pumpkinhead arrives and he takes somebody and he throws them into a bear trap. Fucking dope. Pumpkinhead likes to be a little brutal this time around, and he stomps a guy's head out inside the building. But before he does that, how the fuck do they know that he got on the roof? We didn't hear anybody on the fucking roof. They're just gonna assume, guys, he's on. I guess the editors forgot to add in the sound effects of him climbing the fucking roof. That was just their mistake. But also, why does nobody? Unless it was in her head, but Judy was talking to when she was going upstairs to check up on the noise or check up on the girl. She talks to herself in the mirror and she says, "How?
How?
But everybody else is downstairs. I can see her. They have eye on her. They have visions on her. They just think, unless that was in her head and that wasn't real. But there's only one way from the scenes of Ed Harley and her and Haggis. There's only one way to really stop him, is because Ricky is her true lover. And she has to sacrifice him, or he's gonna have to sacrifice himself, or cool. You get the story. It's like you have to kill the host. Typical. Nothing's changed with any of these films. I'm sorry. With horrible CGI, with the roof cracking open, and Pumpkinhead. It looks like Pumpkinhead was wearing high heels in some of the scenes when you were paying attention to his legs. But when you're paying attention to his thighs, because most of the camera shots from each of the film really pays attention to his thighs and up because he's a tall character. But when you get the leg shots, it looks like he's wearing high heels. And I'm going to get this out the way because it was a really nitpick on mine. Pumpkinhead is tall. In the beginning of the movie, Pumpkinhead jumps through a window that's just your average size window. And he jumps through it with no difficulty, right? And my problem with this is they obviously, with CGI, they shrunk him. There's a lot of, when it comes to the CGI, it's just, when it comes to him jumping, or is just a far shot, or they need a shot they can't do in a costume, they either shrink him a lot, and then they zoom in, and then just cut it to being the character playing as Pumpkinhead. It's fucking ugly, right? This scene right here was horrible, because that window was small, and Pumpkinhead's big. And then him jumping through the ceiling with horrible CGI, it was just bad. And everybody during the scene just gets massacred off. Everybody doesn't know how to use a shotgun, or everybody wasn't using their fucking minds. Everybody was stupid. And this is where we get the bitch slapping. Let's go. And people get, so we get this scene right here at the beginning. He's getting front hand smacked. Then we get backhand bitch smacks. Love it. And then we get a window throw scene. We only got one, sadly, but the bitch slaps, perfect. While the little girl, you can say, grown-ass girl, They're running, and she trips on absolutely bullshit. Yes. But she doesn't get up because Pumpkinhead's there. And Rudy pops up with Ricky. Ricky's already there. Ricky was in hideout, and he pops up just like, I don't know why the fuck he popped up unless he was going to sacrifice himself, but I don't think his dumbass was going to do that. He really wanted revenge of the Sith. He wanted revenge. And horrible decisions was making right here. Ricky asks him to shoot him. In my opinion, I would have said, pass me the gun, I'm going to kill myself, or I would have been like, pass me the gun, I will cap myself, right? But she doesn't miss any of the shots. Surprising, she probably has the best aim when it comes to the Pumpkinhead franchise, because almost everybody else misses shots on Pumpkinhead, who is a tall-ass character. But this girl has a grade B+ aiming. Everybody has an F. Fucking money. Are you going to say it back? Man, he says, I love you twice, and she just shoots him. She's like, I've been waiting for this motherfucker. She's been waiting for that for her life. I don't think she loved him. But they go down a well together. Pumpkinhead jukes us again, and then Ricky fully goes down the well, and that's when the movie in this franchise ends as we speak.